Might as well go out with some cringe and some memes.
I couldn't believe it either! I'm literally rolling in it!
So sir, based on our market research, as you can see from our presentation, if we make Space Marine 2, Mechanicus 2, Total War Warhammer 40k, that can be Horus Heresy also, and Warhammer 40k Battlefield, I think we'd really please our fans and increase our sales.
Ah, cool. You know we're not going to do any of that, right? Because what's our motto?
Fuck the fans, we like money.
That's right, well done. So, how's that cash grab mobile game that I asked you to make going?
Yes sir, we've been working tirelessly on it. We've actually just finished the trailer this morning. I'll show it to you now.
To repel this darkness, a mighty crusade is launched. The threat of chaos must be driven back. Uncountable enemies stand in their path, but the defenders of the Imperium do not stand alone. Guided by their unshakable faith in the Emperor, they will vanquish the storm. They will be the light that breaches the darkness. And they shall know no fear.
Perfect.
Now sir, I must say, don't you think this could be a tad misleading to our customers?
Did the trailer cost more than the game?
Surprisingly sir, yes it did.
Yeah, that's the whole point. So, tell me about these animation channels that I've been hearing about on YouTube.
Oh sir, it's been terrific. People are literally coming into our Games Workshop stores and saying they've seen these animations on YouTube, and it's actually brought them into the hobby. And best thing for us, it's actually increased our sales and we haven't had to pay for any of the advertisement.
Strike all of them. Because what's our motto? Fuck the fans, we like money. That's what I thought. Oh, and we're not done there. I want the painting channels, I want the lore channels, I want the tabletop channels, I want the gaming channels, and what's that thing called where they talk, and the podcast channels as well, one of them as well. I want all the money from that.
We are back in business!
In today's video, we're going to be diving deep into Warhammer mobile games. Are they actually worth your time, or are they just slot machines with surprise mechanics and a pay-to-win agenda? This video is sponsored by fucking no one, so get ready for my honest opinion. Back in the day, you were lucky to have a game on your mobile phone. I think the oldest game I can remember playing was Space Impact and Snake on my dad's phone when I was younger. We've gone a long way since then in gaming. Fast forward to around 2010 and I was a little fat kid going on a bus to school. On that bus I would play apps on my iPod. Angry Birds, Plants vs Zombies, the classics. But in 2012 that all changed. Clash of Clans was released, and in my opinion it was the first biggest push of Freemium Games. And I got addicted. I only ever spent about £30 on Clash of Clans. But what is a freemium game? Freemium games are something I'm going to have to explain before getting into Warhammer mobile games, because it's important for you to understand what these are before I critique them. The freemium business model is quite simple. You download a game for free, you get to play the game, and at the start everything seems normal. As you progress through the game, developers put in factors that obstruct gameplay. This can be loading times, difficult bosses or enemies that need power-ups, or other players with better gear attacking you, etc. These barriers then try to entice you to pay to get around the problem. You pay with real money for an in-game currency for you to spend on reduced timers, power-ups, and in some cases, gambling. This is how a lot of companies get away with kids gambling, because they are using an in-game currency and not real money. This is what caused one of the biggest gambling problems in gaming history with CSGO, which I was a part of. I've had offers for sponsors on this channel, but I will never endorse something that I think could potentially be harmful to my viewer. Mental health and gambling is a serious problem, and a lot of these mobile games are looking for you to get addicted to these games. Of course, not all mobile games have gambling, but in-game currency exchange and pay-to-win mechanics are just as addictive. Fortunately, only about 3% of people who play these games are the ones who buy into this crap. Then again, some of us spend stupid amounts of money on plastic, me included.
I like money!
If there's one thing I know about mobile games, is they want money from you. And if there's one thing I know about Games Workshop, is they like money. I'm not surprised at all that Games Workshop have had a big push into the mobile gaming market. And with their big push of games recently, it was going to happen. For Western society, they go with the computer games. But for Eastern society, mainly the Chinese, they love this shit. I heard somewhere that showing how much money you can spend is a sort of honour over there, the fact they don't need a computer also, and a lot of them love gambling. It's a literal goldmine for Games Workshop that would make Balthazar Gelt jealous.
And they shall know no fear.
Download now.
Okay, so this mobile game is the biggest one, hence why I'm talking about it first. I always like to do my research before talking about something, and for Lost Crusade I did a lot. I checked out videos, adverts, what people who got sponsored had to say, also how to play the game at a pro level, how to actually apply to become a content creator for Lost Crusade. Yes, I know, that actually exists. Why don't we start with some reviews? Like any good person, I know I can trust the reviews of the Apple Store when it comes to games. The game has a 4 out of 5 stars. Not bad. Let's see what people had to say. A moment of silence to the person who spent over £2,000 in a mobile game. I do feel sorry for you. How high the dudes at Games Workshop were when they give the go-ahead on this project. Let's move on to the advertisement. You see, I think a tech marine or a tech priest would be pretty pissed off if a power sword was just shoved in the middle of a Thunderhawk.
To repel this darkness, a mighty crusade is launched.
But this trailer was the epitome of what these games are, misleading. A trailer like this, it's not cheap, I can definitely tell you that. And I think it's just sad to see it wasted on, of all things, a mobile game. I have no problem with cinematic trailers trying to hype up a game, but this was just nothing like the game. I did watch the other trailer before the Skulls event, so I knew it was the mobile game, but honestly, you would think this is Space Marine 2 if you didn't know that. I wouldn't mind Lost Crusade's scummy existence if I was not bombarded with these ads on every social media platform.
What's this?
They'll waste resources, they won't research any new technologies, and they'll have low combat power.
Oh, these shopping channel ads are just so lame.
Whereas pros in Lost Crusade, they'll expand their resources, build factories, and research new technologies. They'll get more resources. top of that, they'll recruit new heroes.
Buys this junk.
And boost their combat power. Finally, they'll march out when they're ready. And that's how you
Want
play.
that? It's total junk.
Wow! Wow!
That's crazy.
What a harvest! Upgrade all Vanguard veterans to the highest level. What? The forces of chaos are attacking!
Oh my fucking god! Quick! The forces of chaos are attacking!
Blocking them with my freshly upgraded soldiers. Good job, guys. Easy peasy.
You tubby little ginger cunt.
This is Warhammer 40k's first ever mobile strategy game. I'm so excited! It's got tons of strategic battles and breathtaking visuals. I get to experience all the thrills of an official Warhammer 40k battle in the palm of my hand!
Fuck off with these ads. The fact they have YouTuber commentary for these adverts is even more annoying. And how does this guy have over 2 million subscribers? I guess kids. Each of these adverts has that same annoying format you see with every other mobile game. An advert where waves are attacking your base that has that annoying alarm sound effect. Or the advert that looks nothing like the gameplay. Huh, kinda looks like Dawn of War 3. And lastly, it's just all those annoying sound effects they use in these adverts. I don't know why, but this is making me laugh way too much. I would have liked to have made a longer montage, but they would copyright strike me if I did. But anyway, what is Lost Crusade? Lost Crusade is a textbook example of a freemium mobile game. Taking one look at it and you can easily see the bland copy and paste format that the other hundreds of mobile games use. You start the game, you get a basic tutorial about how to build, upgrade and recruit troops, some campaign missions, some free items, but all of this is just a psychological marketing strategy used in the game to make you feel like you're having fun. They're just sitting there waiting for that perfect moment to slam you with the reality of these games. If you're an adult, it's your money, so if you want to waste it on a virtual currency, who am I to deny you that? However, I despise Games Workshop for trying to aim this towards children and teenagers. The fact you simply have to press a box that says you're over 13 and then you can start spending your parents' money is just stupid. Oh my god, look how pretty the colours and effects are used on all the purchasable items. They're definitely not trying to encourage young people to buy this. Don't get me wrong. Is Lost Crusade any worse than Clash of Clans or State of Survival or any other mobile game out there? No. And I will be honest, you can play this game without needing to spend a penny. You will be at a massive disadvantage and you will need an alliance to support you, but it is possible. Do I think it's fun? No, it's shit. This is the perfect time waster with a 40k reskin. So if you literally have nothing better to do with your time, then play this game. I honestly had to force myself to play it. I'd much rather play Dawn of War 3. So what are the common strategies used in Lost Crusade to get you to spend money? Well, one of the most effective ones is to buy a second builder. This is common in all sorts of these mobile games that if you want to build multiple structures at once, you need more builders. The next is reduce time on building. I'm not at that point in the game where it takes like 7 days to build something because every time I open Lost Crusade, I'd rather be doing anything else. The more you upgrade in Lost Crusade, the longer things take to build, encouraging you to speed it up with money. Their main way of getting money though is simply having other players do it for them. As soon as you introduce a way for someone to pay to win, you either A, pay to win as well, or B, save your money and get a life. If a player is better than you, they can destroy your entire base and the only way to recover and compete with them is also paying. In terms of gambling, you have deep dives which basically give you drops. You get one a day, but you can pay for more, and once again this comes under the in-game currency bollocks that these games use. There are events in the game that look far more like casinos, but I didn't get a chance to test them, and personally I'm glad I didn't. I was very tempted to apply for the content creator program just to see what benefits they give, but I don't want to be on Games Workshop's radar or giving my information to a Chinese company. It's a common marketing strategy to have content creators to show you how to play the game, which is different to having sponsored content creators. One tells you their opinion of the game and the other tries to get you to play the game and buy stuff. These guys usually get codes that gives them free crystals that makes the game look playable and easy. Lost Crusade also has scammers trying to get your information, which is fun. Anyway, I don't want to even talk about Lost Crusade anymore. I give it the rating pretty wank. If you like to waste time, money and your life and like 40k, it's the game for you, but it's no different to any other mobile game. Can anyone please tell me the lore around dwarf sentry guns? Like, are they a rare thing that only the master engineers have, or are they a common use on the battlefield? I only ask because you see them in trailers like Warhammer Online and Warhammer Odyssey, but never in like old tabletop. Maybe one day they'll be added to Total War Warhammer or Vermintide. The opening trailer was sick for Warhammer Odyssey, a little cartoony, but I was optimistic with what I saw. After checking the reviews on Apple Store, I noticed I must have missed the worst of this game, since it seemed to have had a terrible soft launch. I never played Warhammer Age of Reckoning or Return of Reckoning since it has been shut down, possible video at some point, but I imagined that Warhammer Odyssey would be somewhat similar to it. I created a character as a witch hunter, most of my favourite names were taken, so I had to go for Elector Count Simp. The game starts you in the Drakwold forest fighting against the Beastmen. You need to Brexit them from your land for good old Boris.
But because of course Brexit is an opportunity in itself. We will take back control of one nation.
And whatever the bumps in the road ahead, I know that we will succeed. We have obeyed the will of the people. We've taken back. This is the dawn of a new era.
For UK produce, lamb, beef, dairy produce, cheese.
You all need to die. And I make absolutely no apologies for that. I admit, and it's been exposed in the past, that I like being forced to eat a kangaroo testicle. Shut up. I want to make one thing clear. I would love to probe my mother. I will not get my hair cut. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
And then by using my amazing Vermintide skills, you kill a Minotaur. After that, I was super excited. What dangerous, amazing missions will my witch hunter do across the old world? Will I slay the Skaven, maybe the Greenskins or the vampire counts? Instead, I attack gangs of kids, collect wooden planks and help an old woman back to her house. I guess this was a tutorial, so I pushed on. Oh my god, is that Gotrek and Felix?
Wow!
That's crazy. I came to this character, Gotrek, and I looked at the script and it was sensational. I thought his character was quite mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was sad to see Gotrek and Felix in a mobile game, but thank god they were added to Total War Warhammer. Still waiting on Thankwall. Gotrek and Felix asked you to kill a giant spider, and this was the moment I realised one of the biggest problems with this mobile game. I couldn't kill the spider, and this resulted in my equipment getting damaged. One stupid mechanic in this game is your equipment breaks like every fight. This results in you having to go back to the blacksmith and pay to repair on the other side of town. I really don't understand this mechanic because you can't even pay with real money to repair on the fly, so it's a lose-lose for everyone. There are fast travels on the map, but you have to unlock them by doing quests. After I got my equipment repaired, I then lost the location of Gotrek and Felix because it wouldn't show up on the map. But I knew I needed to level up to kill the spider, so I spent about 10 minutes leveling up. I'm never getting that 10 minutes of my life back. But it was time for me to face the spider. To prove myself to Gotrek and Felix that I am a warrior, a witch hunter. The first fight was super intense, but the spider managed to clutch it. The second fight was more intense than the end times. I missed a point blank shot with my gun and it went down to the wire and the fucker won again. This was my last chance to beat the spider and prove myself. I prayed to Sigmar and stepped forward.
Good job, guys. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I gave up after that, but there clearly are some people who like this game. To be fair, at least this mobile game isn't pay to win. There are some nice structures in the game, but I give it the rating, just make a better version on PC. Do you know what would be really cool if they made a Warhammer 40k MMO? Oh, I almost forgot.
Mark from THQ working on Warhammer 40k, the MMO. Third person? Is this first person? Is it going to be like a... How's that going to work? Can you tell us about it?
No, we're not doing this again.
Check out this elite.
A big stompy death robot. That's more like it. This guy feels like a late game hero unit to me. Comes out at the end and finishes it. It's going to take a lot to beat them.
One Warhammer mobile game that I've genuinely been enjoying to a degree is Freeblade. Freeblade has you play as an Imperial Knight, and I really do like knights. The whole idea of being noble worth to control a knight and then going through a whole ritual to fuse with the machine spirit, it's a really cool sci-fi fantasy concept. Many of you may know that a knight in Freeblade is also the knight Vortigern, which I showed in the Unification mod. I renamed my knight to Big Sexy though. The game opens right into the action after the ritual of fusing with the knight, and you take on Chaos, which teaches you the basics of the controls. The game is basically a third-person moving platform shooter. You only focus on the shooting, shielding and melee combat, which are all time-based reactions. In the opening you take on cool enemies like the Brass Scorpion. Also a Helldrake then tries to mount you and rips off your missiles. One cool thing that a lot of people pointed out is the models in this game were the ones I mentioned in my Dawn of War 4 video. For some reason they've been taken down now. Freeblade starts really good like most mobile games, but as I got further in there was loot box after loot box after loot box. You do get all of this for free, and you can buy some of these boxes, and it does kind of ruin the gameplay. I can see this game has a lot of finding and maxing the right gear from these boxes, which you use an in-game currency to upgrade. You can get the currency by either grinding out missions or paying in the market. The game has quite a long campaign, so at least you're not against other people unless you play the multiplayer, so I can't really call it pay to win. You more pay so you can do better in the campaign. What is bad about Freeblade is the consistent push for adverts. After I complete a mission, it would just slam an ad in my face.
I like what I'm seeing, but I can't help but notice the lack of enormous robots.
And before I start a mission, it encourages you to watch an ad for a bonus. After about 30 minutes or an hour of playing, you reach the so-called grind or paywall area. You can definitely play through the entire game without needing to spend a penny if you watch the ads for help. Looking at the market again, £40 to play as a Chaos Knight. Bruh. At least it's just mostly skins. Freeblade is definitely one of the better 40k mobile games, and I would recommend it over something like Lost Crusade. I give it the rating alright. So if you go on a bus or train to work, this is a fun time waster unlike Lost Crusade, but I think you'd have more fun listening to a Warhammer novel in my opinion. Oh wow, oh my god,
Summon the Elector Counts!
Warhammer Chaos and Conquest is just simply a Warhammer fantasy version of Lost Crusade, minus the fighting part, which in my opinion was the best part of Lost Crusade, if it can even have a best part. You have good old Wolfwick the Wanderer giving you guidance outside Kislev, and you literally don't need to spend longer than 3 minutes playing this game to know it's barely any different to Lost Crusade. 90 quid. Do people actually buy this? Oh, don't worry guys, it's an awesome deal! No wonder the Skaven love Warpstone. The only benefits I see are getting an early look at the Chaos Dwarf's voice acting.
Greetings, Lord of Chaos. I, the Tsar Doomax, am the greatest demonsmith in these wilds. Tales of your conquest suggest there is promise in being your ally. That you wish to see the old world burn as we do.
I still think Ogre Kingdoms will be the pre-order though. And you also get to see the potential units for Warhammer 3. I really hope the Chaos Warriors in Warhammer 3 look something like these. Judging by the reviews, it seems a very similar situation with Lost Crusade, with needing to keep a shield otherwise your base gets destroyed. I give it the rating, play if you want to get hyped for Total War Warhammer 3.
For Horus! For Horus!
Drop Assault has a really nice intro describing the Horus Heresy, and it takes place around the start of the war in the Istvan III atrocity. Should I play as traitor or loyalists? I'm going to go with traitor.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
I don't think I have the will to play another one of these games. I feel bad for saying that, and even the reviews on the store seem good, but honestly, after playing the 40k version and the fantasy version, I don't want to play the 30k version. Next I'll be having to play the Age of Sigmar version. I'm not going to give this one a rating, but I think this one might be the better one to try out of the three, simply going on the reviews. I've never really been a fan of card games, but I recently played the Street Fighter board game that my friend had, and it was a lot of fun. However, card games on phones or PCs have never really got me interested. But the Horus Heresy Legions card game is good. I just feel that this game's motivation for being made was not money first and gameplay second. The introduction is quick and easy and engaging. There's a campaign story that takes place at the start of the war. Same as last time, it's the Istvan III atrocity. The card game has simple and complex moves, which also has its random elements, but to me that's the whole point of a card game. You have an energy meter you gain each turn that you can spend actions on your cards, like attacking, playing a card, etc. I'm sure if you get into the nitty-gritty stuff, there is a meta and obviously balancing issues. There definitely is a community for the game, with Russians and Americans. I'm sure they get along fine. Overall, it's a nice little game, and it's quite funny listening to Abaddon lose. From what I've seen of the reviews, it's not a pay-to-win game, and I've only just realised that there's a PC version as well. I give it the rating, if you're going to play a Warhammer mobile game, play this. I think you will have a lot more fun. Out of all of the mobile games, I think I actually will keep this one on my phone. Okay, I'm done. I know there are other Warhammer mobile games that I have missed, but you either have to pay for them or they're on PC. Stuff like Regicide and Daka Squadron, I feel like I'd rather do a review of them. Total War Battles, you can only play the alpha on Android, so RIP. And looking at some of the alpha gameplay, if your game has 6 different currencies, you know it's going to be problematic. But hey, look on the bright side, whatever funds Total War Warhammer 3, am I right? The next video I'm going to do is going to be nowhere near a mobile phone. Either Vermintide 2, the Arma 3 mod, or the Warhammer content on Dreams. Anyway, I'm glad this is done. It's been Poncha, and I'll see you next time.
We're not going to do that. Huh. You know we're not going to do that, right?